Good morning, YouTubers. It's your buddy ChopTalk coming at you with an episode of Chop Talk, brought to you by the one, the only DFSArmy.com, your one-stop shop for all things DFS related, MMA to PGA. We've got you covered. Run down to the comments section, click the link, use coupon code CHOP for another 10% off. Become a VIP today. Jump in here because we're going to run through a lot of stuff today. Quickly, we're going to start up something I call the DFS Diary. If you follow me out on Twitter, you know that I did this yesterday. I put it in the pinned tweet. I'm trying to cover a lot of the different sports that we cover, highlight a little bit of what it is that we do, a little bit of where we might be going for given slates. Hopefully you follow along. Hopefully you like the way this format is starting to evolve a little bit. Click the like and the subscribe button down there at the bottom. Ring the little notification bell. And hopefully I'm bringing you the type of content that teaches you a little bit about the DFS industry. Because honestly, I'm just giving back to what I've learned along the way, and what goes in one ear comes out the other, or out my mouth, whatever you want to call it. The easiest way to find me out on Twitter is at ChopTalk. Pinned tweet will be DFS Diary. Just going to be a gradual increase of content in one singular post all week long, where you're going to find today's video, tomorrow's video, the next day's video, etc. And we'll cover a little bit of NBA, a little bit of NHL, a little bit of NFL, maybe some other sports as we kind of grow into them a little bit. Any feedback you have, you want to steer me in a certain direction, let's do it. We'll talk a little strategy. Today we're going to talk recap. We're going to go a little bit through what was last week. I'm going to show you a little bit of proof that DFS Army coaching works, and we're going to see where that takes us. Hopefully we wrap up with a little bit of NBA And1 stuff, and this doesn't take a half hour or an hour to go through. We're going to try and make this as quick as we possibly can. The first thing that I do want to dive into and show you is some of our winning strategies, some of our winning ideas. The ladder system works. The ladder system simply states that you load up the bottom of your lineup. You take a lineup, you build a lineup. I don't care about ownership. I don't care about going after massive GPP wins. I'm talking about the base of where 80% of my bankroll, my daily budget, my slate budget is going to go. And of that 80%, the majority, or of the let's say it's $100. If I'm going to, invest $100 today in DFS, I want more than $50 going towards the safest contests to win. Head-to-heads, 50-50s, double-ups, things like that. And I'm always a single entry, largest field possible if you're going to play 50-50s or double-ups, because I don't like getting involved with multi-person trains where one guy puts the same lineup in there 20 times, and then he blocks off 20 spots, and he's moving up and down the leader board accordingly, 20 lineups at a time. I try to avoid that as much as I can. My volatility goes down, my stability goes up when I am exposed to many unique lineups. That allows my lineup that I build to realize its true potential in a more stable fashion, if that makes sense. I will take, say, 50%, so $50, and I would take like $30 and throw it in head-to-heads, and then I would take the other $20 and probably put it in 50-50s. I don't want to be all head-to-heads necessarily. I do like the idea of 50-50s a lot. Now, if I've got a smaller budget and I'm only building a ladder with, say, $10, then I'm not using head-to-heads at all. I don't have the volume to smooth out that variance. So I'm going to be a little bit riskier, and I'm going to go all 50-50s with that $5, or that half of my $10 budget. What I'm going to do with the other 20% is I'm going to put it in triple ups. So $20 on $100. I'm going to find triple ups, 3-man, 10-man leagues, whatever. Something that pays about the top third. I like the flat payouts like triple ups, but in a pinch, when I can't find them, I will find 3-man leagues, I will find 10-man leagues, whatever, something that pays the top third and offers me a little bit of incentive. What I'm doing is I'm closing the gap from now head-to-heads. Let's say I produce a great lineup that goes off tonight, and in a 100-man 50-50, it ends up like in 5th place. Well, it did way better than just 50%. It would have gotten paid better in other lineups. So the idea is I need to get paid. I need to make up for those days that I don't hit the 50-50s and I lose everything. So I need a little bit of exposure to upside contests that will make up some of that, because we're not perfect. We're not going to hit the 50-50s every time. In fact, very few people hit 60% of the time. That's just fact. I don't care who you follow, lineup sellers or anybody, any tout, anywhere. Very few people. I don't care what they tell you. Hey, we've hit 8 in a row. Okay, nice hot streak you're on. Because you're full of shit if you're going to tell me you hit 80% of your stuff over the course of a season. You're lying. And you're selling a bag of weed that's really oregano. But the point is, you build these lineups, these staggered lineups or staggered contests in there so that you can then capitalize on the upside when it does really, really well. So you cross that head-to-head line or that 50-50 line, and you become, you keep on going. You cross, oh, now I unlock triple. And if you had $5 down here in a $10 lineup and you unlock $5 that paid back $10, boom, you're automatically break even, and this is pure profit. And then you hit the next line. You still got room to go. You get into the top 20%, and boom, you unlock that quintuple up. That's another 20% of your budget. So on a $10 scale, $5, $2, $2. On a $100 scale, $50, $20, $20. Wham! You've unlocked 5x your winnings, pure profit. And now you get into a 100-man league or a small GPP or something like that, and you cap it off kind of there. So not only do I cross that 12th place barrier in a 100-man league or that 20% mark in a smaller GPP, then I hit the min cash, I don't care because I've already smashed all of these contests down here and I'm already profiting for the week. But if the lineup keeps on going, it keeps doing better and better and better, I've got upside up here at the top of my pyramid to go more and more and more and more and drive my ROI through the stinking roof. This system has been around for a long time. I articulated it a few years ago. It has revolutionized what we teach inside DFS Army for smaller bankroll players for sure, and a lot of larger bankroll guys are already doing something very, very similar to it. Okay? Now, how does it look? What does it look like when we come out of the woodwork with it? Let's show you a ladder from last week. See how this works? The money lines are here. And when I've crossed over these money lines, my upside goes up, up, up. This lineup showed what, a 250-50s. This is just a tiny little ladder, $5, right? $5, $3 in head-to-heads, more than half of the money that I entered. See, I do this across 3 or 4 lineups sometimes. So in the NBA, I'll throw 3 lineups out there with little mini ladders like this. Sometimes they'll be bigger, sometimes they'll be smaller. Just depends on what the hell I want to do. I'm always experimenting with stuff, so I've got other MME stuff going off the side. My daily budget gets chewed up in ways that I'm not necessarily trying to pay my bills and win. I'm trying to compile experiments to turn around and teach you and show you how to become a better player. We talk about this in my coaching channel in DFS Army all the time. That's why you need to be a VIP and jump in here so I can custom build you, okay? Now, when the $3 50-50 hits, I'm already profitable. What's that, $5.40? I'm already up 40 cents. I know, woohoo, big deal. But if I hit that lineup and that lineup alone, at least tonight was a good night. Now I'm working on the other stuff. A 10-man league, because I couldn't fill it with both a 3-man and a 5-man or whatever, right? I didn't get in there in time maybe to get a triple up in there or whatever. So a 10-man league for $1, boom. Ended up winning that. Okay, now it was only $1.80 for third, $2.70 for second, and $4.50 for first. I got lucky and I won the thing. Why? Because I produced what turned out to be a top 10% lineup across the board. Actually, a top 3% lineup that particular night across the industry. So I got in the top 10%. A 10% lineup, 1 out of 10 chance of winning that 10-man league. A top 10% lineup gives you a shot. You can run into an unlucky night where some guy just beats you by a little bit, and that happens, and you get second place, but it gives you a shot. You also run into nights where your score is not a 10% lineup, and you get lucky and run up against guys that didn't have a good night, and you sneak off with the win. Now, so it goes both ways, but in that 10-man league, top 10% lineup gives you a shot at winning $5 more. Okay, that's pure profit. And then you top it off with the 100-man league, got into third place there, and unlocked $8 more. What was second place going to be? I must have tied somebody or something, because second place is $10 or $15 and first place is 25. Maybe it was one day we'll do a little breakdown, a little contest breakdown, and show you that as well. But the point again is the ladder works. You build your base, and then as you cross this line by a lot, you get over other lines too. Boom, boom, boom. And you start unlocking more and more and more profit. Okay, how's it work in NFL? Well, just ran one last week. This is what happened yesterday. These two are my lineups. Okay, these are my personal ladders. Now you can see the money lines here in the 50-50s were 123, 118. See, they do vary a little bit from contest to contest, but you build a lineup that goes across them. And look, this is with a 0 from Aguilar and a 3.9 from Corey Davis and a 0.9 from O'Shaughnessy. What the hell? You know, imagine if those guys had contributed. We'd be talking about winning another 100-man league. They're not hard to win. You just have to hit on your picks. That's it. Now, But by building for a heavy floor and by taking the, paying up for the running back and hitting on a good quarterback that could win the slate, floor and upside is another thing you'll hear me preach all the time. By building for floor and upside for most of these players and taking my core, and my core went off pretty well, it allowed me to get into these 50-50s very comfortably. And now my lineup is completely profitable. Out of $13, I put $7, more than half, in the 50-50s. That returned $12.60. So, I mean, if I hit just those, I'm down 40 cents. You saw in the other lineup, I won 40 cents. Big deal. Bottom line is I more or less break even if I just hit my 50-50s. Anything I do above and beyond that, pure profit. So, we go down in here into the quintuple up. Boom, unlocked that. I was in a triple up too. I don't know why that didn't show up in here somewhere. I guess it was just off the page. But hit the triple up easily. Hit the quintuple up with a 144. Look, by 3 points. Doesn't matter. Paid $10 to everybody that crossed that money line. Right? Got into the 100-man league, which is usually where I stop. And sometimes I'll throw a small GPP right on top of it. I want to unlock that 125, 200, 300, 400 bucks just like you do. And I do it with the tippy top of my ladder after everything else is covered. It's like paying your bills and then taking the wife out to dinner. Pay your bills at the beginning of every month so your wife doesn't leave you, and then take her out to dinner with what's left over, right? Take your gamble with the end of your budget, not the beginning of your budget. Okay, it's just common sense. So this is what we teach people how to build, and the ladder system works. You can hear people talking about it all the time. The next thing that I will show you is what DFS Army did over the weekend. $20,000 here in what? NBA, okay? Read it if you want. Pause the video and read it. Come back to it. He tells you how he built the lineup. Okay, other photos, testimonial, whatever. Here's another winning lineup. NBA again. We dominate NBA. 40 bucks in, 13,900 bucks out. Coaching Loose Meister, thank you for the tips. You know what I mean? We help people build their lineups. We don't give you the lineup. We help you make decisions, though, between player A and player B. We don't like those black and white questions. We'd rather you tell us what you're thinking. This player has this much usage. His projected minutes, this guy's out. He's going to get more minutes. Is this smart? Is this the right, where am I thinking in terms of ownership? Is it okay to get off the chalk here? Those types of discussions are things we love teaching people and we love helping. Not, hey, who should I play? Harden or Giannis? I mean, dude, come on. Bring a little bit to the table and we'll dig in and we'll coach you and we'll put our experts in front of you and they will help guide you and make you a better player. This, just proof right here. 14,000 out. Another $4,000 winner here in NBA, right? Love being in the Army, of course. This is just from the past couple of days. And this joke here cracked me up. He comes in with 375 in, 960 out and says, hey, can I withdraw again? And I agree, best money you can spend. He's pulling money out and because he's winning and he keeps on winning and he keeps on pulling money out and it's becoming a joke to Deuce here that it's time to withdraw, not deposit again, but withdraw again. Come on. You guys are missing the boat, man. Talking about volatility and things in those screenshots there. NBA again, $2,000. Woohoo! Thank you, fantasy gods. You know what I'm saying? What are we at? Win number 6. Okay, so that was it. What I didn't show you is the winning from this weekend again. Yes, I'm going to jump in and show you even more. What's that? $10. We got winners of all kinds here. 33 in, 1,000 out, NBA. 10 in, 60 out. Good job, ladder. Clustered up into the multi-entry tourneys, right? $292 out. Awesome. And you can tell by looking at this graph, he's profitable. You don't need to see how much money you put in there. It wasn't 300 bucks worth. He's profitable. I guess if you add these up, maybe there is something down in here that we need to look at. But obviously, it was a winning day. That's why he's talking about it. That's why he's bragging about it. $12 in, 1,200 out. I mean, what is that, a 10,000% ROI? Would that help you out a little? 96 in, 227 out. Respectable. You can see the ladders work. You can see these guys are playing these contests, and they're rocking and rolling. 100 grand. Bang. NFL afternoon clash. Bang. And what I want to show you about this lineup right here is the actual lineup itself that Cuckoo posted. Breeze, Gordon, Lindsey, Thomas, Fitzgerald, Smith, Jared Cook. See if you posted the bottom end of it. Nope. 5 in, 100 out. I mean, we're back to the winning, right? But let's focus on this for a second, because what I want to show you is what he did, how he built this lineup. Talked to him a little bit last night, and he mentioned to me that he used a lot of the domination station. He wanted to play Breeze, Kamara, and Ingram, but then he decided a little bit later on that he wanted to fade Ingram or Kamara. So he focused on Breeze and Thomas, locked them in, and let the domination station fill in a lot of the rest. And then he kind of threw, I guess he threw in Patrick Lindsey in there, because if you look at Geek's player list here, you will find all of those players on this list. All but Lindsey. Drew Brees, right there. I mean, did Cam Newton and Drew Brees have pretty good days? You can argue that not all these picks are going to pan out. But if you pick from the picks list, you're in a spot. Who can argue about picking all of the players except for maybe one on this list that he wanted to pick on his own that worked, and he took down $100,000 from this type of help and from the optimizer and our projections and other coaches' input? I'm telling you, this is where it's at. Kamara's up there, Barkley, of course, Gordon, McCaffrey, Elliott. I mean, the bold guys are the core builds. The ones that Geek himself is using the most in building his lineups. Did Barkley and Elliott have decent days? He didn't miss with these picks. Some of these others are a little bit more risky, so he puts hybrid on them and GPP on them, right? But primarily building on Dion Lewis, Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon Barkley, which of course we know these two smashed. Michael Thomas, solid day, core build. Odell Beckham scored a touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey, these guys are on the list. T.Y. Hilton had a good day, didn't he? Did he help you win? So on the list, Galladay came through, right? Corey Davis did not. I had Corey Davis in that ladder I showed you. Didn't bother me. I still got all the way up into cashing in the 100-man leagues. Okay? You can afford to have a few bad plays if the rest of your plays do well. Aguilar, damn, he was on this list. I did not look at this list yesterday, honestly, because Geek and I have known each other long enough that when we talk, a lot of our players always match up. We just tend to look for the same types of guys. I'm not as good a player as he is in DFS. I'm just not. But I can tell you who's going to be on his list. This one surprised me. I thought that I was going a little bit off the beaten path with that one, and I'm surprised to see him on the list. But look at Tre'Quan Smith. I'd have rather had him. Cheaper, too. Damn, I'd have done well. As it was, I just kind of did okay. Zach Ertz, not paying up for a tight end last week. Olsen, touchdown. Howard, a couple of good plays. Hooper was where I was going if I wasn't going down to O'Shaughnessy, where O'Shaughnessy came in late, wasn't on the list. And O'Shaughnessy basically crapped on my drawers. And then defense is down here. Arizona was, pretty easy to pick. Washington's on his list too. Good. I spotted that one late in the week and threw that one out there. They got me 10 points. It was fine. But all of these picks were on this list. We're in this $100,000 winning. You can see all our guys go nuts. We love watching you guys win. We really do. And there's the lineup again. These guys on this list, except for Lindsey, were on Geek's list. We take the workout for you. We make it easy for you. Okay? Really quickly, let's wrap this up by diving into the And1 system. We're running up on 20 minutes. I apologize for going long. Hopefully you got a lot out of that. And let's take the And1 rating system, sort by descending, and deliver the Monday slate top fives at each position. Ready? Write these down. Point guard. And1 rating system. This is a catch-all metric that takes into account your 3 and 10 game averages, your minutes, your increase in your usage, the matchup, the pace, the point total coming out of Vegas, all of these things across the board, and puts a little bit of different weights and measures, field goal attempts, everything on your matchup, and gives an overall strength of matchup rating. Okay, these are not necessarily the players that are going to go off tonight. These are the players that are in the best position to go off tonight. Okay? They still need the minutes. They still need the run. His $3,000 punt might have a great And1 rating, but if he's not going to get the minutes and the usage, it's still going to give him a great matchup rating. It won't be as high as these guys because minutes and usage are obviously weighed in. But it is maybe going to overvalue that a little bit. But if you just take the top 5 at each position, Irving, Simmons, Conley, Walker, Bledsoe, you want to punt and Bryn Forbes, go for it. Strong matchup for Forbes. Shooting guard, Anderson if he plays, it's questionable. DeRozan, Lou Williams, Schroeder, Booker, Butler, maybe a little Jrue Holiday. Top 5, 6. Paul George, Gallinari, Antetokounmpo, Warren, Hayward, Gay. Okay? These matchups, you can look over here for projected points. You can look over here for projected value. And these are going to help you assemble your player pool list that you should be focused on tonight. And then you do the rest of the research and break down those players and decide which ones you want to take. Tobias Harris, Anthony Davis, LMA, Griffin, Harrell, Millsap. Boom. There you go. Top 5 or 6 at power forward. Top 5 or 6 at... Do the same thing over on DraftKings. Look at center, how priced down these guys are compared to DraftKings. I will look at the Fanduel salary and the DraftKings salary and use it as a percentage of the cap and see who's cheaper on which site. And these top 4 are cheaper on Fanduel by a good bit. Embiid, Adams, Drummond, Jokic, Gasol, Nerlens Noel. Nerlens Noel is one of those that draws a good and 1 rating a lot of the time, but doesn't get a lot of minutes. So he's one of those that you've got to watch. Now, if somebody, it winds up, out, for the day or something like that, one of the front court Thunder ends up out and the usage will slide to Noel, then he's already in a good matchup. He's already. So if he gets a minute or a usage type spike from some of that news breaking late, then this is somebody you need to always have in the back of your mind to slot him in there. Big time salary saver in a drop score format like FanDuel. You got no risk. You're going to forego some of these guys to do it, but what you're going to be able to do is bring up your shooting guards, bring up your point guards, bring up your small forwards, whatever, when the situation warrants. Again, I'm not an NBA coach, but I know the guys that are, and I can run to them with those questions, and I can say, hey, so-and-so sat. Does that mean that Noel just got the bump we're looking for? And they can tell me yes or no. And then I can, how prioritized, how important that news is. We will tell you our injury news and our impacts. In fact, I'll run out of here really quick and show you one more thing, and then we'll bail. If I come into the NBA news, that's NFL news. NBA news, is it news or is it coaching notes? Could be coaching notes. There they are. Who's out and what it means. Russell Westbrook out, Paul George and Dennis Schroeder, huge bumps. Elite matchup versus the Kings. George coming out, New Orleans Pelicans. If Elf Payton is out, which he should be with a broken finger, Jrue Holiday runs the point. So we're giving you teaching you how this league works with its rotations, with its usage, situations to monitor. Oladipo, if Depot is out, Miles Turner gets a bump. Okay? This is stuff that the casual guy doesn't know, that the casual guy needs to know. And that's part of the coaching that we offer inside DFS Army. So as I wrap this video for Chop Talk for Monday on a weekly recap and then a little bit of a peek at the NBA, hopefully you like the format. Once again, like and subscribe to the channel. Keep this content rolling. Give me comments on where you want this to go. I'll read them. I'll take them into consideration. You'll help steer the ship. But you've also got to become a VIP. You've got to invest in your own game. You've got to come in. If you like the ladder talk, you like the contest selection and the bankroll management type of portion of what I do, you need me to coach you. You need to come in. You need to make personal contact with me. I will dig in. I will help you. I will help you stop redepositing. I will help you become a better player and hopefully smartly invest your money in a little bit different fashion than you've probably been doing all these years. But you need to take me up on that offer. Use the coupon code CHOP, C-H-O-P. Dive in here today, become a VIP, get ready for tonight's slate. I'm working on content. I'm working on managing our other content today and its release. But I still can help you if you put the @Chopadong in front of my name at my channel. I'll jump in there and I will help you with whatever questions that you have. Okay? I try to be as responsive as I possibly can be. I'm not going to recruit you in and then just not deal with you. I'm not a snake oil salesman. I back my play. Come in here today. Take the investment in your own game. Let's move on. We'll come back tomorrow probably with some NHL type stuff on a fuller NHL slate. Maybe talk a little bit of NFL. This has been the DFS Diary and Chop Talk for November 20th, Thanksgiving week. We've got a lot of content coming for Turkey Day in NFL. We've got primetime slates, showdown slates, all sorts of coverage and podcasts and things for you. Hopefully you're getting a kick out of it. Jump in. Hope to see you. Love to talk to you. but you got to be a VIP to do it. Peace out, guys.